Hey kids, how are you? Are you guys ready for a Kid Life Midweek Bible study? Are you really? Are you sure? Good, so am I. Here we go.
Don't ever let them tell you will never make it. They don't know the fighter inside. Just shake off all the haters. We all make mistakes. Yeah, we all fall down sometimes. But you gotta get up. And just remember what you're made of. You gotta get up. It doesn't matter what they tell you. No, you can't give up. When they think they knocked you down, get yourself up off the ground. You're too close to give up now. You gotta get up, 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 up. No, you gotta get up, 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 up. No one's sharing pictures of their mistakes and failures. One thing you can know for sure, that everybody's been there, so you don't have to be scared. I know just what you're worth, and you gotta get up. And just remember what you're made of. You gotta get up. It doesn't matter what they tell you. No, you can't give up. When they think they knocked you down, get yourself up off the ground. You're too close to give up now. You gotta get up, 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 up. No, you gotta get up, 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 up. When you think you're done, get back up. When the hard times come, get back up. Remember you are loved. Get back up again. When it's hard to hear, get back up. Come on and crush your fear. Get back up. You're gonna persevere. Get back up again. And you gotta get up. Just remember what you're made of. You gotta get up. It doesn't matter what they tell you. No, you can't give up. When they think they knocked you down, get yourself up off the ground. You're too close to give up now. You gotta get up, 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 get back up. No, you gotta get up, 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 up. No, you gotta get up, 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 up. You gotta get up, 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 up. Get back up again.
Hey, Brandon. Hey, I just. Oh. 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 There's a little super. Oh. Oh. Just a little help. Oh. What is that? Oh. Oh. Okay. No, I don't need your help. Just trying to get to the door. Hey, I'm fine. I'm just fine. Look at that. Sample is all good out. The floor's wet. Just Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon.
And I'm John.
And welcome to the So-and-So Show.
Yeah, hey, listen, I want to apologize to everyone in advance. I scheduled my doctor's appointment before the show, but I've been on hold for like 2 hours.
You have a doctor's appointment on your computer?
Yeah. It's a virtual appointment with a faultologist.
A faultologist?
Yeah, it's a doctor that deals with people who have a comedic falling condition.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said a comedic falling condition?
Yeah. CFC?
Mm.
It's when someone can't help falling down for the sake of comedy. I've struggled with it my whole life. See? A little help.
That was all today.
I know. Yes, Dr. Van Newton, hello.
Oh, it's Mrs. Van Newton. I've been sued before for letting people call me doctor. You know, we're still fighting to have the medical board acknowledge faultology as legitimate medical science.
What? That's incredible. Can you believe that? Well, I'm here to tell you that CFC is a real thing, and I'm hoping that you can help me out.
Well, John, I reviewed your file, and based on my diagnosis, you were not suffering from comedic falling condition.
What? But I fall so much.
I'm sorry, you're just clumsy.
Really? Well, what should I do about that?
Well, I'm afraid the clumsiness can't be cured, but I am sending someone over who can help. He should be there any moment.
Thanks, Dr. Miss Van Newton.
My pleasure.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. Please welcome someone who knows stuff.
Oh, hey. Wow, hey man, come on in. Have a
Don't
seat.
mind if I do.
Yes.
All right,
There you
so tell us who you are and what you know.
My name is Kenny, and I'm a stunt performer.
Oh, like for TV and movies?
That's right.
Okay, so Miss Van Newton said you could help me with my falls?
Totally. Half of what I do is falling.
Oh, doesn't that hurt?
Oh, it can. And before I learned what I was doing, I did get hurt. In fact, my nickname is Crack Rib Kenny. But then I learned how to fall correctly, and it made a huge difference.
Well, that's great. Hey, can you teach me how to do a stunt fall?
Absolutely. Let's do this. All right, first, kids, don't try this at home or the church or the car, wherever you are. We're trained professionals. Got it? No, seriously, I'm asking. You got it? Okay, good. With every fall, there is some risk. So you should learn how to fall the right way. That way, when you fall, you can get back up. Today, we're going to do a standing back fall.
Oh, a standing back fall. Okay.
That's right. So the key here is to step back. So you soften your blow. You're going to go to your bottom. Keep your body rolled, chin tucked, and then you're going to snap your palms facing down.
Okay, so what does that look like when it's all put together?
Looks just like this.
Oh, wow, are you okay?
Totally fine.
Great.
Oh, yeah, okay, I want to try.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so first, step back. Not so stiff.
Okay.
Keep your knees soft.
Right.
Keep your knees soft.
Soft knees, like a ripe avocado, kids. Soft knees.
All right, let's do it. Step back.
All right, step back.
Keep your chin tucked.
Chin tuck.
Roll your body.
Roll my body.
Let your momentum carry you. And palms down.
Palms down.
All right, that's it. Now just get back up and do it all at once.
Acto! I'm gonna do this again. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. Step back, soft knees, chin tucked, and
Not bad.
hey, awesome.
That's great. So let's put it to the test.
How do we put it to the test?
Claire.
Claire.
Oh, excellent form.
Oh, thank you.
That'll do it, Claire.
Yeah.
All right, well done.
Am I cured?
No, you're still going to fall down, but now you know the right way.
You know what? That's awesome. Thanks, Kenny.
No problem.
Hey, it's Bible story time with Kellen. Kellen.
Hello, gents. How's it going?
Not too shabby. You got a story for us today?
I do indeed.
Take it away.
Our story today comes from the 11th chapter in the book of Hebrews. The writer wrote, Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. That is what the people of long ago were praised for. And then you can read a list of some of those people of long ago. Some people who had faith in God even when times were tough, like Noah. What is happening?
Pump up the volume and let it play. It's Heroes of the Faith, a historical playlist of epic proportions with classic heroes like Abel, Enoch, and Noah.
And I would float 500 miles, and I would float 500 more just to take a zoo across the flood and have a world that God restores. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah. Okay. So Noah was a hero of faith. He couldn't see what God was doing exactly, but he knew that God had been working since the beginning of time. And even though it was hard, Noah did what he knew God wanted him to do. There's also, here we go again.
And who could forget these faithful heroes? Rahab, Gideon, Jochebed, and of course, Abraham.
Now let me get this, you really want my family to move, and leave the land that we call Earth. Now let me get this, I'm gonna have a giant family, more than the sand on the seashore.
That's right. Abraham and his wife Sarah had faith too. They left their home because God made them a promise. And they trusted God. They believed they would have descendants that would number the stars in the sky.
Descendants like Isaac, Jacob, and Abraham's great-grandson, Joseph.
Good, bad, whatever day I've had, I believe that my faith does go on. Year to year, the Lord is always here, and that's right here in my heart, and my faith goes on and on. Oh!
Joseph kept trusting God and getting back up even though he had a hard life. But in the end, Joseph was made a leader in Egypt and during a great famine too. God used Joseph to save his entire family from starvation. Incredible, right?
You think that's incredible? Then you'll love this collection. Call now, 1555 Hebrews. All of these stories were a part of God's big story, and they can remind you that no matter how difficult things get, God is working to make all things new.
It's the end of the road as we know it. It's the end of the road as we know it. It's the end of the road as we know it. God parted the Red Sea.
Call now, 1555 Hebrews extension 11. That's 1555 Hebrews extension 11 to get this once-in-a-lifetime collection of all the heroes of faith. When you hear their stories and how they kept going no matter what, you can be inspired to do the same. Not sold in stores.
Wow. I mean, that was fun.
Absolutely. Those people kept going even when life was really, really hard.
Well, yeah. And they trusted that God was working to make things new. They didn't even know that God would change the world forever through Jesus. They just had faith.
That's right. And what's amazing is that we're all a part of God's big story, just like all of those heroes of faith from long ago.
That's amazing. Thanks, Kellen.
No doubt. I'll see you guys next time.
We're a part of an incredible story.
Yeah, we are. I mean, hearing how people have trusted God in their lives has really inspired me. Even though I may fall sometimes, I can trust God to help me get back up.
Oh, that is inspiring. Let's inspire everyone else, shall we?
Ah, yes, you bet. Reveal the question. Oh, who inspires you to get back up? That's great.
We have stories of people from long ago in the Bible that got back up and kept going.
Yeah, you can be inspired by Jesus. He lived a life that still gives us hope today.
Or maybe you know some people in your life right now that inspire you to get back up. Who are they?
Yeah, talk about it together.
And we'll see you next time on the So-and-so Show.
You know, you inspire me to get back up.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fall down and let me inspire you.
Oh.
Get back up, John.
Just sweep that. Oh.
How's that?
How's that?
Is that good?
I don't know your elbow.
No.
You go.
Top of the morning to you. It's just a tumble.
Oh. Ah. I think you got
I
it.
can't do that. Ooh.
That was really actually kind of impressive.
Quite amazing, actually.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that last part was real. All right.
Oh, you really fell.
Yeah.
All right.
Dog pile.
I don't know about you guys, but I love to study and read the book of Hebrews, especially chapter 11, about all these great heroes of the faith. It's one of my favorite chapters in all of the Bible because I love to hear just their stories, to be reminded of the faith that they had to trust God through all the difficult times that they went through. So that being said, how does today's story help you remember to trust God to help you get back up? Yeah, hearing all the ways that God helped these other people, it reminds me that I can get back up. I mean, we briefly talked about Joseph, but there is so much more to the life of Joseph than what we have time to talk about today in this little video. But when you think about Joseph, he couldn't help that he was his dad's favorite son. All he did was just obey whatever his dad told him. And because of that, his brothers hated him. And they literally beat Joseph and left him to die. They threw him in a well and was going to leave him there to die. And then they finally said, you know what? We could sell him and make some money off of him. So they sold him into slavery. So Joseph goes from being the favorite to being down in a well and sold into slavery. And then he works his way back up through the ranks of slavery, and he becomes really the head of the household. Outside of Potiphar, there wasn't anybody in the house that had more authority than Joseph did. But Potiphar's wife lied about Joseph. Potiphar was angry, so Joseph goes to prison. And while Joseph's in prison, he's basically forgotten for the longest, for several years. And then suddenly he's remembered. He interprets a dream for Pharaoh, and suddenly he's back on the mend. And he becomes like the governor of the land, second highest ranking official in all of the land. And it's just an amazing story. And when I look at his life and I see the ups and downs, it just reminds me that if he can do it, I can do it. If his faith can be that strong, mine can as well. So, speaking of faith, what do you think it means to have faith? Yeah, we say it a lot in here. Faith is believing in what you can't see because of what you can see. I always explain it like this, kids. It's like the wind. I can look out my window. I do not see the wind. I see the results of the wind, but not the wind itself. See, if I see the trees starting to do this, or if I hear the leaves rustling, it's the results of wind. I don't see the wind, just the results. And faith is that way. I haven't seen Jesus, but I've seen what Jesus can do. And I've seen the impact he's had on other people's lives. And I even know the impact he's had in my own life. So it only increases my faith in him when I think about all that he's done. So let's move on. Has there been a time in your life when you felt really down? Yeah, I think all of us have had those moments. Well, how did you get back up? Okay, kids, brace yourselves. It's story time with Pastor Jamie. So here's the deal. Some of you may have heard this story because I've shared it before in Grace Kids, but maybe you haven't heard it. So just sit back and listen to the story. So when I was a kid growing up, I grew up without my dad being at home. See, my parents separated 3 months before I was born. And so Dad wasn't around, so we didn't have that income in our house, and my mom became very, very sick, and disabled. So we didn't have any income in our house for quite a period of time, and we totally had to depend on God to meet our needs. And we were poor. We were really poor. I mean, we were so poor we spelled it with 3 O's instead of 2. Yeah, we were that poor. So, but listen, there was one particular Thanksgiving that I've never forgotten, and I pray I never forget this, because it was, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days before Thanksgiving, and it was at a time in our family's life where we were kind of in between churches. My mom, and up until her health got bad, had always been the church pianist and the church secretary where we were at. And through a series of events, our pastor that we had there resigned to go into missions. And so my mom, between her health conditions and the pastoral change that was happening there, she felt like it was time for us to change as well. And so we were visiting a few different churches in the area at this time. And so we're 2 or 3 days away from Thanksgiving, and my mom cooked dinner for us. And when I say us, it was myself, my brother, my sister, and my mom. And so she prepared our dinner. Literally, we had 1 can of beans, just one. And that was all the food we had in the house. And so my mom popped the can of pork and beans wide open, heated it up, and that was dinner. And so she fixed a plate for my brother, one for my sister, and one for me. And she said she wasn't hungry. Looking back now as an adult, I know what she was doing. But she didn't fix a plate for herself. And so we sat down at the table and was getting ready to eat. And we said the blessing like we always would. But my mom said, kids, I want us to try something different tonight. I want us to hold hands. And when we get done praying, we're going to go around the table and we're going to take turns naming one thing that we're thankful for, and thanking God for it in our prayer. So let's see how many times we can go around the table of thinking things that we can thank God for. Okay, so while we're praying, while we're doing this, we hear this knock on our back door. My mom gets up and she goes to the door, and there's these 2 men standing there, and I recognized one of them from one of the churches that we had visited. The man that I recognized, his name was Steve Cape. He's now a pastor down in Tennessee. But at the time, he was just one of the laymen in the church that we had visited. And there was another guy with him. His name was Robert Soulsby. And so they introduced themselves to my mom at the door and told us the name of the church they were from. And then they looked at my mom very kindly and gently and just said, "Man, we don't want to offend you for anything, but we know during the holidays that a lot of families can have different needs. And for some reason, God just kind of put your family on our heart, and we wanted to come by and see. Again, we don't want to offend you for nothing, but could your family possibly use some groceries?" And my mom hated to admit it. She was very prideful, in a good way. But she admitted it. She hung her head a little bit, and she said, "You know what? I'll be honest with you. A few groceries would be a real blessing." And so they said, "Great." Listen, they were driving this Ford F-150 long bed truck with a camper shell over it. And that thing was crammed full of groceries. And they unloaded every single bit of it in our house. We had groceries everywhere. And so they drove off. We were so grateful. And it was at that moment that my mom told the 3 of us kids to sit back down at the table. And that's when she shared with us that this was literally the last can of beans that we had, and she had been praying for God to help us, and we were giving thanks. And while we were giving thanks, God answered that prayer and provided food for our family. Now, that may not sound like a big deal to you, but it was for me, and I've never forgotten that, because there's been a few times, even in my adult life, where I've kind of got knocked down and things were really tight financially. Wasn't sure where we were going to have the money come in from to take care of a bill or something like that. And I can always remember that story as a kid where God just always provides. And so that helps me bounce back up and just trust God even more when I remember what He's done for me personally in the past. So maybe you should talk to your mom or dad tonight, or a grandparent, and just ask them, "Hey, Has there been a time when you felt really down, and how did you get back up? And just listen and learn from their story, and their story can be an encouragement to you to learn how to bounce back as well. And of course, we've got our Bible verse, Isaiah 40:31, but those who trust in the Lord will receive new strength. They will fly as high as the eagles. They will run and not get tired. They'll walk and not grow weak. Isaiah 40:31. Kids, memorize it. Hide that word in your heart. I promise you it'll help you. Well, now listen, that's all the time I've got for today, but I want you to check back with us this weekend because we've got another great lesson planned for you as we wrap up this series learning about resilience. And don't forget to mark your calendars. June 13 through 17 is our kids camp, Make Waves Kids Camp here at Grace Fellowship Church. I want you to be there. I want you to bring your friends. We're going to have a blast. All right, you know the routine. Right hand up in the air. High five. I'll see you soon.